"Ma'am, step out of the store, now!" barked the officer, his eyes narrowing at Elena, unaware she was a police captain with a secret that would turn their world upside down. Imagine a bustling department store on a crisp autumn afternoon, where a poised black woman in casual attire browses the aisles, her shopping bag swinging lightly. Suddenly, two uniformed officers approach, their faces stern, accusations flying about shoplifting. She stands tall, unflinching, as handcuffs click into place amid stares from onlookers. But what if this wasn't just any arrest? What if the woman they were dragging away held a secret that could shatter their assumptions and expose a deeper rot? Stick around as we unravel a tale of mistaken identity, systemic bias, and a twist that flips the script on justice itself. In the heart of a mid-sized American city, where tree-lined suburbs gave way to urban sprawl, lived Captain Elena Hayes, a 42-year-old black woman who had climbed the ranks of the police department through sheer grit and unyielding determination. For over 2 decades, she had patrolled these very streets, earning commendations for her sharp instincts and community outreach. Off-duty, Elena blended seamlessly into everyday life, a devoted mother of 2, an avid runner, and someone who cherished quiet moments away from the badge's weight. That fateful Saturday, Elena decided to treat herself after a grueling week. Dressed in jeans, a simple blouse, and sneakers, she entered the upscale department store in the mall, a place she rarely visited. The store hummed with activity, families shuffling through racks, sales associates eyeing potential buyers, and security cameras blinking overhead. Elena wandered the cosmetics section, picking up a few items, a lipstick here, a foundation shade matched to her warm brown skin there. She paid at the counter, receipt in hand, and continued to the clothing area, her mind drifting to her daughter's upcoming birthday. Unbeknownst to her, a store employee had been watching. A young clerk, influenced perhaps by ingrained stereotypes or a slow day, noted her movements with suspicion. Her confident stride, her unhurried browsing, traits that screamed authority in uniform, now painted her as out of place in this affluent space. As she exited the store with her purchases, the clerk's call to mall security set wheels in motion. 2 on-duty police officers, both white and relatively new to the force, responded promptly. They spotted Elena just outside, her bag in tow, and something in their training, or lack thereof, clicked. A black woman leaving a high-end store alone. Assumptions brewed silently as they closed in, curiosity morphing into certainty without a word exchanged. The officers' approach was swift, their boots echoing on the pavement as they flanked Elena from either side. She paused, sensing the shift in the air, her trained eyes noting their tense postures and hands hovering near holsters. One officer, broad-shouldered with a buzz cut, barked in order for her to stop, while the other scanned her bag with accusatory glances. Elena's heart quickened, not from fear, but from the familiar sting of being profiled, a shadow that had followed her even in her professional life. They demanded to see her receipt, their tones laced with authority that bordered on aggression. Elena complied calmly, pulling out the crumpled paper from her pocket, but the officers dismissed it hastily, claiming it didn't match the items they suspected she had taken. Onlookers began to gather, phones emerging from pockets to capture the unfolding scene. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "What did she do? Looks guilty to me." Elena felt the weight of those stares, a reminder of how quickly innocence could be eroded by perception. As the situation escalated, the officers radioed for backup, their voices crackling over the airwaves about a resistant suspect. Elena attempted to de-escalate, her voice steady, but they interrupted, twisting her arm behind her back. The cold metal of handcuffs snapped shut, biting into her wrists, a sensation she had inflicted on others in the line of duty, now turned against her. Pain shot through her shoulders, but it was the humiliation that burned deepest, being paraded through the mall like a criminal, her dignity stripped in public view. Transported to the precinct in the back of a squad car, Elena sat in silence, the city's blurred lights reflecting her growing resolve. At the station, the booking process unfolded with mechanical indifference. Fingerprints taken, mugshots snapped under harsh fluorescent lights. The desk sergeant, an older white man with a paunch, barely glanced at her as he processed the paperwork, muttering about another one. Elena's mind raced through the implications: her career, her family's reputation, the broader message this sent about trust in the system she had sworn to uphold. Whispers among the officers grew as details emerged. One patrolman joked in the break room about easy collars, unaware that Elena overheard through the holding cell bars. The injustice deepened when they searched her bag, finding nothing but legitimate purchases, yet they doubled down, citing suspicious behavior as justification. Hours ticked by in the dim cell, Elena's thoughts turning to similar stories she had heard from community members, Black individuals targeted for simply existing in spaces not deemed for them. This wasn't just personal. It echoed a pattern of racial bias woven into the fabric of policing, one she had fought against from the inside. As night fell, Elena's frustration mounted, her off-duty status still concealed. She knew revealing it too soon could complicate things further, potentially labeling her as entitled. Instead, she endured, the emotional stakes rising with each passing minute. Would this incident expose the flaws in her own department, or would it be swept under the rug like so many before? The precinct buzzed with late-evening activity as the shift changed, officers milling about with coffee cups and clipped conversations. Elena, still cuffed to a bench in the holding area, watched the familiar faces, colleagues she had mentored, rookies she had trained, pass by without recognition. Her casual clothes and the context of arrest had rendered her invisible in her own world. Then came the turning point. The arresting officers, reviewing the case file in a nearby office, decided to run a deeper background check, prompted by a nagging inconsistency in her demeanor. As the computer screen flickered to life, her name popped up: Captain Elena Hayes, decorated officer with 22 years of service, including stints in internal affairs investigating bias complaints. The room fell silent. One officer's face drained of color, the other stammered excuses about protocol. Word spread like wildfire through the station. The desk sergeant burst into the holding area, keys jingling frantically as he unlocked her cuffs. Apologies tumbled out, laced with awkward justifications. "We didn't know. Standard procedure. You matched the description." Elena stood, rubbing her wrists, her gaze piercing as she faced them. The intensity peaked when the precinct commander arrived, alerted by the commotion, a man she had outranked in promotions years ago. He ordered an immediate release, but the damage was etched in the air, exposed hypocrisy, the raw nerve of institutional racism laid bare. In that charged moment, Elena's composure cracked just enough to reveal the fury beneath. She demanded the body cam footage be preserved, her voice carrying the authority of her hidden rank. The officers shifted uncomfortably, realizing their actions had not only targeted a civilian, but undermined one of their own. The climax hung heavy, a mirror held up to the system, forcing a reckoning that could no longer be ignored. With her release secured, Elena walked out of the precinct into the cool night air, her steps measured but empowered. The arresting officers faced immediate suspension, and an internal investigation launched, uncovering a pattern of disproportionate stops involving people of color in that mall sector. Elena's story, leaked anonymously to local media, sparked community outrage and calls for reform that her department had long resisted. In the weeks that followed, Elena returned to duty, but changed. She channeled the experience into advocacy, speaking at town halls about the insidious nature of racial profiling, even among those sworn to protect. Her family rallied around her, turning a personal ordeal into a catalyst for dialogue. The store issued a public apology, donating to anti-bias initiatives, while the clerk involved underwent sensitivity training. Yet, the scars lingered, a reminder that justice isn't blind, but often blurred by prejudice. Elena's career flourished paradoxically. She was promoted to lead a new diversity task force, using her platform to bridge divides within the force. This tale, inspired by real accounts of off-duty officers facing discrimination, underscores how racism permeates even trusted institutions. It challenges us. How many innocent lives are upended by unchecked assumptions? What if the next suspect doesn't have a badge to shield them? Let this story ignite reflection. Share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more eye-opening narratives. And remember, true change starts when we confront the biases we all carry. Isn't it time we demanded better from those who serve and protect?